everybody. Welcome again to another day on Forward. My name is Korede Bello, and you can also call me Kebe. I am your host for today, and I will be here with um, my normal team, our mates, and also we have two special guests joining us today. In a moment, they are going to be introducing themselves to you so that you get to know them. But in the meantime, just like you know, um, Forward is about coffee and tea, hangout with Ray Global Digital. This is where we talk about humanity and human experience. And of course, we have fun with it while we are also um, touching a lot of topics, and we hope that these topics you are learning one or two things from them. So let's get started. I would like us to introduce ourselves to our audience. So let's start with um, our normal team members. Adefunke, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Hello guys, my name is Ade Funke and I am the research manager here at Ray Global Digital and happy to be here.
Thank you, Adefunke. Ondi.
Hello, my name is Ondi. I'm happy to be here and I'm looking forward to proving what feminism is to these guys.
and, and who is that little guy behind you that is showing up?
That's my son, and he
All
should
right.
not be there.
He should not be there. So try to let him know that he should not be there because his face can be seen on camera. All right, so moving on, let's welcome our special guest. I'm so honored and I'm so happy that I have a new friend that I just gained recently. She has been very helpful. She has mentored me in one way or one way or the other. And I'm so proud of her because she's giving us a very good name here in Finland. So let's welcome on board again through Global Digital, Teresa. Can you quickly introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Ray Global Digital. Hello, our audience. My name is Teresa Bilola. I have a PhD in strategy, policy, and management, and I am a sustainability policy specialist, a newly elected deputy councillor at the city of Turku Council. I can't wait to have this discussion. I hope the men are ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, very soon, maybe we should direct that question to a very good friend of mine from afar off. I admire what he does, and I also admire his courage and his tenacity to do things that sometimes could be seen as impossible here in Finland. So welcome, joining us here to discuss on Forward is Debaton. Did I call it right? I struggle with his name.
You got it, guys. You got it, guys. It's okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Global. Thanks for this opportunity. Stanley Ogok, popularly known as the Beton, and I'm a B2B and B2C network builder, a multimedia entrepreneur, coach, mentor, among other things. I'm also a host of the Beton Show, which is being broadcast by the Beton Media. And about my background, I have a background studies in law, natural resource management, that's environment, and also international business, entrepreneurship, and media. And I'm happy to be among or be part of this conversation about gender equality or the right of a woman against the right of a man. Let me say it that way.
So I will say, are you ready? Because Bilola, she asked us a question that are we ready? For your information, guys, I'm so happy that I'm not the only person here today because normally the ladies they always hang up against me. So I have somebody to join me. Yeah, you know, that's the way we do it. All
The
right. So,
question is, will it matter?
of course, it will
Exactly.
matter because even when I was the only person, I still threw some punches.
Depends on what
So
kind of punches you threw.
no, I throw. They know. They know. I don't throw. I don't just throw punches.
Because there is
I
a there
move
is
and I
punch,
make.
there is a punch, and there are punches.
I know. I say I
If
throw
you see
punches.
this
I didn't
skin,
throw punch.
we're still untouched. We're still
You
Yeah.
know.
untouched. We felt
You know.
nothing. These
We are not
punches
going to
you
talk
threw.
about that. Yeah, I'm talking about the kind of punches that I threw that people will remove their earphones.
We
so
know, we
so
know.
you know what I'm talking about. All
Yeah.
right, all right. So we normally have fun here. We want to discuss very serious issues, but at the same time, even though we know that they are very serious issues, we still know that we believe in humanity. We believe that humanity can do better. So while we are, that's the reason why we resorted into having fun with these serious issues. So in such a way that we'll be able to discuss them amicably and also learn from one another because everybody have one or two things to learn from each other. So, but before we go deep into the talk for today, there is something that we do here. It is our principle here that we hang out with our cup of tea or cup of coffee, whichever way we choose. And sometimes we do it in a competitive way. Like Team T won the first time, and Team Cookies won the next time. So today, we want to know which team do you belong? Do you prefer to take your tea or coffee with sugar or honey, and why? So I would like to start with our guest. Let's start with Teresa.
Um, honey mostly, but not finished honey. I wouldn't say why.
But I said why, and you don't want to say why.
Okay, I noticed that the honey here still has a lot of sugar in it. It has sugar added to it, so it's not really honey. So it's either I don't take it at all, I take my tea like that, or I have to have honey that has no sugar. But I'm
So,
team honey.
so the Finnish coffee is tea. I mean, the Finnish one is tea, sugar honey. It's
Most of it has sugar
most. Okay,
added. Yeah.
yeah. But I still want to believe that we have original honey somewhere. Maybe perhaps maybe a bit expensive, but if you
Yeah.
like honey, go for it. All right, let's go to Dibetong.
Yeah, I take tea or coffee with honey also. But right now, I'm a little bit skeptical. Maybe I will not buy the Finnish honey again because I'm avoiding sugar. So I take with the honey. I never knew there's sugar in Finnish honey, in Finnish honey, like honey that is made in Finland. So thanks, Doc, for that heads up.
You just need to check better. There are some that don't have sugar, but most of what is on the shelves have sugar added.
That's why I didn't bother to check. Just honey, honey. It's the first time I'm hearing the put sugar in honey.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I think it's important. It's very important that you check. I will quickly share one.
just trust Finland. So let's put it that way. But now it's my fault anyway. I cannot
Yeah.
blame on anyone. So I'll have to check next time.
Yeah, I think you should check because actually, how do I know that you should check anything you buy in the Finnish shop? It was based on my personal experience. The very first week I came to Finland, we came with our Nigeria ogbono soup. So and we wanted to cook it, and then we thought we were buying chili sauce or chilies whatever, but it was a sugar chili that we bought. So we used it to cook ogbono, and ogbono was sweet like sugar. And we were like, oh my God. We cooked that, the whole ogbono for a week, for 1 week. So we wasted our ogbono. It's like, when we were eating it, we were eating it and we were in pain, like, oh my God, original ogbono soup. Tastes like sugar. What is this? The Igbo people, if they hear this, they won't be happy. We just ruined their soup. All right, so let's continue. Ondi.
I take too much sugar. I can't take tea without sugar. I tried honey, but it doesn't have that same punch. So my
Why?
teeth are suffering because it tastes good. It tastes very good. When I was pregnant,
Okay.
I tried to take less sugar or no sugar. I wanted no sugar and no salt. And what happened is I just didn't drink tea. Even honey, I tried with honey. It's not
the
not
same.
the
Have
same.
you tried stevia?
What's stevia?
And you don't just take
The
sugar,
natural
you take it
sweetener.
a lot.
Natural sweetener.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
Okay.
I'm stubborn in some ways. It's sugar and a lot of sugar, not like my uncle used to take like half a teaspoon. I'm like, just don't take the sugar instead of taking that half teaspoon. So I don't know. I take too much sugar. But my son, he only takes honey, so maybe the stigma will not be passed on to him.
Okay, that's something. Adefunke, which one do you prefer?
None.
Of course, I know that your answer is none, but why? Don't just say that because it will ruin the taste of the coffee or tea or whatever. There will be a particular reason for that. Why you feel that the taste of coffee is ruined? We would like to know today.
Because it ruins the taste of coffee.
Now you believe me when I say the troublemaker of our family. So now you know. I said you should not say that. It's because it will.
I just don't like to take sugar with my tea or with coffee, or the sweetness just kind of is sweet. Like if I wanted sweet, I would go lick a candy. So that's why I don't like it with sugar. And then with honey, I tried a few times. I just didn't like the taste. It was messing up with something. I wasn't getting the original taste of the coffee or the tea. So no, 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 this is not for me. So I take it without.
Okay, that makes sense actually. So I will say that I prefer honey than sugar. Um, to be honest, I don't like both. I don't want. I want to abstain from anything sugar, anything sweet. But then, whenever I need to take something that I need to change the way my coffee or my tea taste, I will go for honey instead of sugar because for health reasons, it's wise to stay away from sugar. Um, a lot of people have done damage to themselves when they are young by taking too much sugar, and most of these damages they show up when you are a bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of them will start to have diabetes and all those stuffs. And diabetes don't just start overnight. It starts with your unconsciousness. It is a gradual process. You build it. Somebody like me, I like chocolate a lot. I like to take Coke a lot. So I just want to cut my sugar as much as possible and finish only as sugar. That's the honesty. But then you can find the one that doesn't have sugar. Or it's just that they are a bit more expensive. Yeah, money talk. So, so all right. Before we continue, we would like our audience to. We also like to remind our audience we are building a game product that we teach children um, languages. uh, the main purpose for the game product is to preserve endangered languages. So, and we cannot do this without money. And also another thing that we are doing is that we are also reaching out to the physically impaired people in Africa. Yet again, in 2020, when the coronavirus started, we were able to help the blind community at Lagos, Nigeria, and now we want to go to another African country. And we can't do it without funding and support. So we'd like you to check the links out in the comment section to see how you can get involved. So thank you for everybody that has been supporting so far. All right, guys, so I think it is time to get the show started. The topic that we want to be talking about today is equality and feminism. Equality and feminism. It's a very broad topic, but we will try as much as possible to make sure that we touch as many aspects of this topic as possible. Today, we want to start with what is the definition of feminism, and we would like our guest to define it for us. So let's start with Debetong. Can you try to define feminism to us? Maybe perhaps you can also touch a little bit of equality.
May I ask, why are we asking a man to define feminism?
Right. So the reason is a very good question, actually. The reason why we need to check definition of feminism from the point of view of a man is because it affected both gender. So that's the reason, because the truth of the matter is that you might think you know the definition of feminism, but the truth of the matter is that everybody, including women, they define feminism in different ways. So you will have your opportunity, if he does not define it the way you want him to define it, after Teresa has defined feminism in our own way too, we will have the opportunity of counterbalance it to let him know that, oh, man, you didn't define this properly.
Oh, can I speak now?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, based on my findings, or based on what I know, as of now, what feminism stands for, or what it is, I think it is the advocacy of equal rights by women. So women advocating for equal rights with men, the political, economic, or social aspect of life.
All right, Teresa, let's go to you.
Okay. I'll start by first saying that feminism is not about advocating for equal rights by women. It's about advocating for equal rights for everybody, and it's not by women. Men also have a very important role to play. So it's not a woman thing. Okay. After putting that aside, I will say that feminism is about equality of men and women. It's not about being the same. I always tell people when we start this feminist discussion that no woman should aspire to be like a man. That's not an aspiration. It's not about being the same like a man. It's like you can put two kids in the class and one of them is slow and the other one is smart. And then you say, because this kid is slow, they'll have less access to the teacher, less books, less whatever, because they are slow. Let's put it in simple terms like that. It's about equity. I like to bring equity here. It's about if a woman and a man are in the same situation, they should be given the same opportunities. It doesn't matter whether they look different physically. I hope that's simple enough.
It's the same thing I said also.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Of course. It's the same I said.
No, it's not.
You just want to because I'm a man, you think I don't have the right to definition of feminism.
All right.
No.
So, all right. Okay, that's the way you feel.
It's very early to be that defensive.
Yeah, so that is to tell you that you are in for it today.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
so all right. So let's before we move on, only what do you think about these two definitions that was given? By the way, you said that is women advocating for women. That was what you said. So I will also leave my comment last, but I want to hear from Monday. What do you think?
When I'm defining feminism, I always like to bring about the concept of a fight, because there's this idea that women should, you know, we know that you've had it hard and things have been hard for you, but don't be so dramatic, which kind of makes me very insane. Like, relax, relax. We know that you get, much less for the same job, and that you have to handle being a mother and also working in the working life, and you also have to handle all these injustices and all these prejudices against you. But relax, relax. You'll get what you need. You'll get what you want. So what I like to point out is that it is an active and consistent, and you have to keep working at it. It's not like, okay, now we're good, or yes, we had like a female prime minister. You can stop worrying about it now. It's not. It's an active everyday thinking about how your prejudice is, especially growing up in Africa, Kenya. The concept of a woman is so tied to being a mother, so tied to living in the kitchen, not living, but working in the kitchen. All these things impact the way that you're viewed in a professional setting, in an equal footing kind of situation. And it's not just financially, it's also in the mindset of men and women, how you view a woman. So feminism is the changing and the fight to change that mindset of what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, and what it means to be equal, what it means to be on equal footing. That's my definition, if we can call it that.
Adefunke, what do you think about this?
Well, to further buttress what my female colleagues have mentioned,
Which one of your senior colleagues? So let us know.
female colleagues,
Colleagues.
yes, what they have both said, I see it as a freedom of choice. We are in a world where, because I'm a woman, I should be confined to doing this. Because I'm a man, I should be confined to doing that. So I believe that feminism is all about giving individuals the freedom to choose how they are in certain situations. For example, Theresia was giving an example that because a child is slow or a child is fast, does that mean that you shouldn't focus on the slow child? I might be a woman, but I have more physical capacity than some other man. Does it make him less of a man? So then you see both of us, we want to do something, but because he's a man, he's forced to do it, for example, because he carries the title man. So it's the same way if you reverse the situation, it's the same way it is when it comes to being feminism and being female and whatnot. So many people think it's always about just fighting for the female. It's fighting, if you look at it in the broad sense of it, you realize that it's fighting for both male and female to have a freedom of choice, to be whatever they want to be. If you want to be in the kitchen and be tied to just kitchen, fine. If you don't want to be tied to that, then you shouldn't be confined to it compulsorily because you're a woman. If you feel like your capacity is able to handle both things, that's also your own choosing, but don't force it on the female gender and say, no, this is the only thing you can do because you are a woman. That is what I believe feminism is all about.
Actually, I think you take that definition out of my mouth. It's the same way I want us to see the definition of feminism. But one problem is this that I've noticed is that any idea that exists, there will always be a possibility or opportunity to abuse it,
Mm.
to abuse every idea. And one thing is this: oh, they normally say that what a man can do, a woman can do better. That is competitive. But the truth of the matter is that every human being that exists, we all can choose to, to be who we want to be. We all can choose. We all have ability to be able to achieve things. We don't have to wait for other people to define us or to redefine us. Of course, we know one of the major reasons that gave birth to feminism is because of the result of abuse that has existed over the year. And all these abuse also varies from each region. For example, from where I came from, what we believe is that a woman is the one that cook at home, that a woman is the one that wash clothes, that a woman is the, and you know, the funniest part of it is that there are some tribes in Nigeria that believes that a woman should be the farmer. But in my own region, we believe that a man should be the farmer. They want to go to do the hard works. Because most of the time in those days, what they do is uh, physically taxed um, jobs. So especially like farmer, you cut grass, you cut bushes, you do some physical stuff. So that as a result of it, that stereotype was given back to that a woman should be restricted to certain set of way to handle certain aspect of life, which I think is incorrect. It's wrong. Even though there are female genders, there are male genders, still every one of us are different in our own unique ways. So that's just it. So I will not want to dwell on the definition of feminism, but I would also like to correct something. Feminism is not about women advocating for women. It's simply about the right of women to do certain things that they choose to do without you trying to assign a definition that or restrict them to certain set of things that a woman are the one that should be doing this, or women are the one that should be doing this, men are the one that should be doing this. I think that is what gave back to feminism, because before you can know the definition of things, we have to go back to the origin. Feminism is not a new concept. It has been a concept that has been in existence for years, for decades. So we have to get that right. So moving
Can I
on.
interject?
Yeah,
Sorry, for
yeah,
1 second.
you will interject because the next question actually is related to the way you are going to respond, because I want to link what I said right now to the next question. When it comes to feminism, male gender is irrelevant, true or false. Is feminism about separation among men and women or domination? So
That
only
was what I
I
was.
want you to respond and connect this next point. Go ahead.
Your definition and what my female colleagues have mentioned multiple times is that feminism isn't about women. It's about equality within the sexes. A man can define himself in whichever way that he wants to, as a woman can define himself whichever way that a woman wants to, without society's preconceived notions of the value of each of the sexes. So it is not about women fighting for women or men fighting for women. It's about people fighting for the right to define themselves however they wish to, beyond what society has deemed is female and male value, strength. So even what you're saying about the farming or what you're saying about the kitchen, or all these concepts are just things that society has told us, not necessarily a truth, and we have accepted them for whatever reason, whether it's society or if you don't agree with this concept of a woman, then you'll be shunned out of it, or for financial reasons men and women both have agreed and we've all come into this concept of, yes, this is what it means to be a woman, and feminism is about going, no, I define for myself what it means to be a human being. That's feminism. It just has fem in there, which makes people think that it's about women. It's not.
All right. So, okay. So, okay. In other way, you are saying that feminism, um, male, it's not about. I don't really get your points. As touching the next question, when it comes to feminism, male gender is irrelevant.
Maybe somebody can find an, I feel like I've expressed myself the best I can.
You can.
Maybe
Okay.
somebody else can explain to you what I mean by
All right.
feminism isn't just about women.
All right. So it's
Adefunke?
okay. All right.
Okay. Ondi didn't say it's just about women. She's buttressing that it's about both sexes. And what I held on to with what she said just now is the fem in feminism doesn't make it a female thing.
Mm.
You know, and because people hear feminism, they always feel, oh, it's the females are fighting for this, fighting for that. Meanwhile, the core of feminism is a fight for everybody, every sex, both male and female. So it's not just to the corner of the females, it also encompasses the males also.
Hold on a moment. I will say something. I want us to get something very straight. Feminism is about females. Whether you like it or not, it's about females. It's about shining light on the female gender, that they too can do this
Hello, sir.
They too can.
Hello,
yeah.
sir. You see, can
Ah.
you see? You're already sounding weird with that
Can
word.
you
they
see
too
the
can.
irony?
Can you see,
Hold on
can
a
you see
moment.
that?
Of
Hold on a
a
moment.
man
Can you
telling
see
women
They
that
too
feminism, that
Hold
we
on
are
a
wrong.
moment. Hold on a
Excuse
moment.
me, ladies,
No,
let me
you see,
educate
this
you
is where
on what
this is
feminism is. Do you see the irony
all right.
of a
All
man
right.
telling
Hold
three
on.
women that we
Hold on.
don't know
Hold on.
what feminism is?
Yes, I will say that because most of the time, even
They
females
too
don't
can.
know.
That's a strong statement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they too can. You need to take it back. You need
Hold
to
on.
take it
Hold
back.
on. Hold
Oh,
on.
we're
I
just
will say
disagreeing
this.
with you telling us we are wrong about what feminism is. Do you understand?
You guys, you are not even allowing me to make my point, because
You
the
made
thing
your
is
point,
this:
and your
if you
point
just
is wrong.
no, I've not made my point.
This is the problem with the feminists, those who advocate for feminism.
Bitong.
This
It's
is the
okay.
problem
Bitong.
because
So you see, they don't
It's
even
okay.
want to listen. That's
they
the
don't allow
problem.
us to talk and define. They just like always getting like, okay, we are the ones.
So okay. So what the two things you guys have done wrong right there is you've said the problem with these feminists. Did you see our faces when you said those words?
Most
And then
feminists, let's
the
correct that.
second
We are
thing
open.
you said wrong is
Only.
they.
We
Is you're
are
saying
open to
they.
corrections. Let me tell you the
Like
difference between.
we are just
Let me tell you the difference between most men gender, a male gender, and most female gender. The reason is that some men, I'm not going to speak for all men. I will only speak for few. They know when they are wrong, and they know how to accept it when they are wrong. But most females that I've experienced, some of them, when it's come to this topic of feminism,
look at our faces.
we,
Look at our faces as you say that men
hold
accept
on a
when they're wrong.
moment. Hold on a moment. See, we cannot achieve anything by interrupting each other. That's the point. So when we are talking about feminism, you want us to believe that, okay, it's not just about female. It's not, the word feminism is not just talking about female. Actually, it's talking about female. That's the point I'm trying to make. Feminism is about female, but they want the light to be shined in such a, this is the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that the word feminism, when the feminism movement started, they want the world to know that you cannot just put us in a box. We are female gender, and we can also do certain things that men can do. But the reason why I made mention of that statement that I try to correct Adefunke is that don't let us define it as it's not just about female, because it leads to confusion at the end of the day. When we are talking about feminism, feminism is about female gender that want them to be treated equally as male gender. Let's
Okay, you've said your point. Can we hear somebody else now? Because you've spoken, I've spoken, maybe other people can give their opinion.
But you did not even allow me to make my point. Only
you said it twice. You said the same thing
went
3 times.
You were interrupting.
Okay, yeah, keep talking. Why can't you not repeat yourself?
Just listen? Can't you calm down? Listen, then you make your point after it. Because I doubt it if they even hear me very clearly because you were interrupting. So let's move on. Let's allow another person to talk. What do you think about this? We have to define feminism in a right context, not just because we want it to sound or feel good. That's not the purpose of. It's good to define certain things in a very good way. All right. Teresa, what do you think about this? Yeah, we know feminism is about humanity in general, but my point I'm making is that the point I am making is that it's about female. But does it mean that other gender cannot jump on board to assist female achieve their goals? Yes, we can come on board to support.
But you're still talking. You're telling her to speak and you're still talking.
No, because she kept quiet, so I want us.
We are in shock. We are in shock.
The nonsense you have spoken.
We are shocked.
All right.
Can you see our faces?
This is not
anyway. Let me first speak from what you said. You just said something now, assisting women in this their struggle or fight.
Supporting. I did not. Did I use the word assist? Support?
Yes, you said assisting. Then you said women are striving to show that they too can. So it means there is already this table, let's say table, where people are sitting and women are trying to show that they too can sit on that table. It means that right from the beginning, the women are not even considered. They're trying to show that they too can be part of whatever, which is completely, I don't know what to say about it, but I'm pointing that out so that you see where I am going to. Then if we agree with your definition that about feminism being about women, it's false. Because first, for men, it's a premise for them to show solidarity, which you are not showing right now, with the words you are using. That's the reason why feminism, we can't say that we have gotten there, because it's always there. You're doing it. You are doing it even right now without knowing that you are doing it. Let me ask you a question. Do you acknowledge that there is something called male privilege?
Yes, I do. Hold on a moment. Because the thing is this. I want, maybe I can use this opportunity to try to clarify certain things. By using the word
Excuse me, sorry? Can I just interject?
I want to
One
answer.
second.
I want to answer.
But then the conversation is going to be favoring your voice, and it's a conversation about feminism.
I'm not Teresa, so the point I want to make right now cannot favor me, because she's a woman of herself, and she's going to choose whether she will agree with what I'm about to say or not.
I'm saying the entire conversation, you have spoken more than the 3 women combined.
No, she says something.
And it's a conversation about feminism.
Actually, what is this? I don't get it. No, really, on a more serious note, I don't get it. So, because it's a conversation about women, men should keep quiet. This is what I'm trying to address.
Men should listen.
No. That's what you just said. You said men should keep quiet.
I pointed out that in a conversation about feminism, you have spoken more than the 3 women combined, and you are not listening to that.
That is the
Instead of going Adefonke, what is your opinion about what Teresia has just said?
Hold on.
She asked you one question. Do you believe you have male privilege? And then you continue talking.
The next person to speak. Just get it. So let me tell you, I will tell you one of the major reasons why I made mention of the point I made mention of is because of women like Only. And I'm not, see, what I said right now is offensive. And I'm not going to say sorry for it. Let me tell you the reason. The reason why I'm not going to say sorry for it is this. I know that it's offensive, and I'm not going to say sorry for it. Because the truth of the matter is that everybody wants us to believe that everybody think alike. Everybody don't think alike. Even with this concept of feminism, every woman don't see it the same. That's just the point. So, and one of the best way for people to understand this particular topic we are talking about is when people listen. So, especially when you don't allow people to make their point and you just want them to listen, that is bias already. It's one-sided already. Teresa said certain statements, pointed out certain point dimension, which of course she is right. The way those things sounded, that was the reason why I wanted to explain myself for her to understand the angle at which I'm coming from. When we are talking about feminism, feminism is about female. Does it touch men? Yes, it does. We are in it together, every one of us. But it is about female. There is no
That
way.
is the fourth time you've said the same statement. Is it the fifth time? Maybe it's the
Hold on a
sixth
moment.
time.
Only the reason why she did not even understand my point is because you keep on interrupting. So you won't even, by you
Say
interrupting,
something different.
no, by you interrupting, you won't even allow me to make my point. It's even possible that I've forgotten what I wanted to say because you keep on interrupting. You keep arguments. This is
Then
not about
ask somebody
argument.
else
It's
to
about
speak.
discussion. No, somebody else will speak. But I want to clarify that. Yes, I get it. We are in it together, every one of us. But the point is this: feminism is about female. It started because of female.
7 times
So
you've said the
just
same thing.
Only you can't have this kind of attitude. It's totally wrong. You will say that I attack female again because it's wrong. Everybody here, please tell me if this is right, if this is feminine. No, please tell me if this is the way women should.
Are you asking us, or do you want to just keep talking?
So, Teresa, on that point, I will leave you to, if you have anything to comment on what I said. I am not saying that, yeah, I get it, there is stereotype already, and I agree. We grew up with it. That's why we are here discussing these things. Because we grew up with it. And while you grow up with it will take a lot of effort for you to break free from it. And that is why we are having this discussion. So it's not
that is why it's even difficult to frame your words because it's always there. Yeah. What you need to do is to be able to acknowledge that, yes, this thing is there and I need to work on it. I feel
that's
like
the point I'm making. It is the point. It's the summary of the whole point I am making. So that's it. But I don't want to speak for all men. I want to speak for myself.
So Debetong, defend your brother here. Why are you quiet?
I hope only won't overtake me. So let me start. Let me make my point.
You have 2 minutes to talk, and nobody will interrupt you.
Okay.
I am the host here, and see, I think I have to stand my ground now. Nobody interrupt anybody.
To me, I think I agree with what Ray said, or everyone here, what you guys have mentioned. But one thing I want to focus on is the fact that this feminism stuff is not like a new thing. Back then, like thousands of years, it is always there, and women and men have been advocating to give equal right to women. And when they say men are involved, doesn't mean that it is advocating for men to have equal right with men. Men are being involved to give women that opportunity to be able to pour out their voice to be heard. So when we say a woman has equal right with a man, is different from saying that the woman has is like physically, or I mean in terms of the how they look. That's not what I think I'm saying here, or we are saying here. What we are saying here, or what I'm saying here, is the fact that women should have equal rights with man if, say, they are able to do what the man can do. But if, say, a woman is not able to do what the man can do in terms of their job specification or wherever they find themselves, then we cannot call it I won't say that's part of feminism. If, say, a woman just want to get that right because they think they're a woman and without having that qualification to actually do that same thing. So I think they don't have to be favored just because they are women, or they cannot bring forth the aspect of feminism. And I see many women have abused or are using this opportunity, this feminism stuff to abuse their rights as a woman, to just like it's like an opportunity that most women are using to abuse their power by trying to inflict pain on men in a different way.
Okay, so now I can see that the women here, they want to exclude. Let me start. By the way, let's hear from Adefunke. What do you have to say about this? I don't want to, because I actually wanted to try to support what the Beton said. Of course, some aspect, but I don't want to be the next person to talk right now. So I want to hear from Adefunke. Let's hear what he said. What you have to say about this.
I have to breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide so that I don't jump inside the phone and bite tongue by myself. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Hey, God. I understand the fact that the idea of feminism has been abused greatly. Yes, I agree. But I also understand from your conversation totally that the main concept of feminism has not been properly understood. And because of that, a lot of people have
let me close my window.
A lot of people have biased opinions about what it is. That the minute you hear the word feminist, you're not even willing to sit down and listen to what it is all about before you erupt from the inside, because perhaps somebody or most people or 90% of people have been using it wrongly. That doesn't mean that is the right thing. That doesn't mean that we are out there trying to abuse power. That doesn't mean that women are trying to be extraordinarily favored, without having skills. Do you know how many skilled women are out there that are not getting the jobs that you are getting just because they are female? When you go to a job interview, excuse me, when you go to a job interview, does anybody ask you if you are interested in having kids? Do they ask the men? But they will ask the women. Like, oh, do you plan to have kids? Do you know that you somebody working in your job position who is female is probably not paid the same amount as you earn per hour? Do you know this? Are you aware? With the same skill set, with the same everything. And just because she's female, she's not getting as much salary as you are getting. Do you know?
And
so you see, what?
And that is wrong.
So in your opinion, that is right. Because you're a man, you should.
Can you hear him out?
Follow me.
That's wrong. And
that is wrong. Yeah. So
follow me. My conversation. You have to understand what I mentioned first before you respond to it.
You were saying that they need to have, I agreed with you in some aspects, but the aspect that I didn't agree with you is where I'm breaking down.
But I didn't say it was right.
You didn't say it was right.
Yes.
But you didn't say it was wrong either.
I said it was wrong.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, then I didn't hear that
so
part
actually,
of your,
I will allow only to talk next, but quickly let me try to maybe I should, because the thing is this, because of the emotion attached to this topic, it's very difficult for female to really easily understand men when we are making
for you females.
Because for female, I said for female, I said for you, then I corrected myself, I said for female. There is something called language. You could make mistake when you are speaking. So don't try to attack me based on my mistake. So you see, that's the type of things I'm talking about. whenever we are having this kind of discussion, the reason why we have not actually achieved a better result is because of things like this. You hear, now I said something that feminism is about female trying to make a point that they deserve to make. They try to achieve what they deserve to achieve. Because like I said, it's not just about talking. There is a goal to achieve. There is a reason why feminism exists. The reason is because there should be a solution that should be provided to all these problems that are highlighted. That is, it's not just to talk about it. Let's talk reality. It's to achieve that particular goal. So, and one of the best way to achieve that particular goal is if you are able to have that ability to listen also. You listen, then you understand. All right, okay, what you are saying doesn't make any sense. Then you now have your own chance to say so that the other person can hear you out. But if the person is making a point, but because like, I will tell you the reason why this topic feminism is very, very inflammatory is because it has affected a lot of females. A lot, billions of females. Truth be told, it has affected them and it's affecting a lot right now. So it's very, very inflammatory, it's very, very sensitive. People tend to respond out of anger sometimes. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the times. So we have to get it. You are going to speak, you are going to get your chance. So the point that Dieter Bohn was making is that we also have to also accept reality. Say, you know that it's not everybody that can become an engineer. It's not everybody. So if you, as a woman, you know what you desire to do, and you know you can achieve it, do it. But don't deceive yourself and say, all right, because I'm fighting for my right, then I will now deceive myself at what I cannot achieve, and I will say, I want to achieve it. Of course, if you know you can achieve it, go for a place. But the truth, let me tell you the reason. The reason is this. All right, so let's allow it to talk, because.
Are you sure? Are you
Go
very
ahead.
sure?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. This is new for me. I want to thank you, Cable, and thank you, Debetong. This is the first time I've talked to two males, not you males, but two males about feminism, and the conversation topic has been, you don't know what feminism is. What about all the males who have suffered because of feminism? And feminism is about women, and we are there to support women. This is the first time I've ever talked about feminism, and this is the conversation topic. Because when I talk about feminism, normally the conversation topics are: one, there is huge iniquity between the way men and women are treated in the world, full stop. There's a massive difference. And women know this because they have had to deal with it their whole lives. Any man who says they know more about feminism than a woman has not conceived what the difference between the way men and women are treated. Two, the second thing that when I'm talking about feminism, I talk about is that what if a man wants to stay at home and be with his children? What if a man does not want to have 3 weeks paternity leave? What if a woman does not want to have children or doesn't want to get married? What if all these different concepts of what it means to be a man or be a woman, female bodybuilders, female engineers, female pilots? Do you know that people trust male pilots more than they trust female pilots because a man or a woman can drive a plane better? No, that's crazy. You're driving a plane. It's because society has told us over and over again a male voice over a speakerphone should be trusted more than a female voice. This is what we as women have had to deal with, and this is what men have had to deal with, because men, as you said it, suffer from this as well. Because do you know how much better the world would be if men and women were treated equally, with the same rights, with the same perceptions, with the same way of viewing the world and being viewed? How do you think a woman feels when they go into a job and they have the same qualifications, the same strengths, and they get paid less every time? every time across the board. How do you think it makes a woman feel? And how do you think your daughter feels knowing that this is the world that they inherit? And do you think that a daughter will look at you and go, hey, dad, tell me what feminism is? Or will they look to her mother because her mother has experienced the iniquity of feminism over and over and over again? This conversation is frustrating. Are you seeing our faces? We're laughing, but we're heartbroken inside because you guys are everything that feminism is trying to fight against. Everything that you're saying is everything that feminism is trying to fight against. The concept that we need your help. We don't need your help. We need you to understand. We need your empathy. We need your sponsorship. We need you guys to be there with us so that we know we're not alone in the concept, in the feeling that the world is not the way that it should be. And it's not about women fighting for women's rights. It's about women going, the world is not the way that it should be. We are not the way that we should be. The things that we value as a society are not the way that it should be. And women suffer more, but the world is suffering in general. And that's what it's about. And this conversation is going to make me do this space over and over again because you guys are not getting it. You're talking
Really,
about things that are
note, I
behind.
don't really understand you. Only to be, you are saying that we are not getting it, but I don't really understand you. How do you get what you don't understand?
Can I come in a little bit?
Go ahead.
I think only you don't understand what we are saying here. You know, you are contradicting yourself when you say when you use the word we don't understand. You are simply telling us that we should sit quiet and listen to you. And on the other hand, you're saying that the men have to come in and sympathize with you. So how do you want us to fit in? Like if say like what we have been saying here is we acknowledge the fact that the women are being treated this way, and most men who get it, who understand this aspect, are coming on board to push for to sympathize with women who have this qualification. And this is not about men, because throughout history, this is not about what you think. It's about what has been happening in the past and what is happening now, which is impacting pain on women whose voices are being silent because of the way they look, because of how they are being a woman. And it doesn't mean that being a man, since we're not the one going through that pain, we cannot speak about it. So what you're saying is like we should sit quiet and listen to you to speak. Is that what you're saying?
So to me, it sounded actually to support what.
Can I answer? Can I answer? He asked me.
Go ahead.
If men should listen. What do you think, Teresia? What do you think, Adefunke? Should men listen? Is that something that we would ask a man to do?
Listen and keep quiet.
So be quiet.
No. That wasn't the question. No, that wasn't the question. He asked.
That was the point you made. It's not just the question. I don't like you talk like politicians.
That was the point.
You made a point and you are twisting.
So from everything I have said, let me just get this from you two men. Everything I have said, what you have heard is that men should sit quietly and listen. All the points I have made.
Going to talk.
That is what you have gotten.
Don't
you just said that was my point. And I was replying.
No, that was not your point.
Okay, Bell, you interrupted my reply. You interrupted my reply.
Your point was fine. Your point was
Believe me, everything you said. This is what I wanted to say.
Why don't you tell me what you have understood from what I've said?
Hold on.
From what I've said, I want to know what you have understood, because
exactly that's what I
not understood.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, tell me what you have understood from what I've said.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. You made mention of a lot of relevant points. Because the truth of the matter is that women have been affected over the years on these sensitive topics that we are talking about. Say, for example, they believe that men should be the engineer, women should not be the engineer, women should be nurse, men should be the one women should be the one cooking, men should be the one eating the food or going to work. We know that this injustice has been there and it has to be corrected. Now, let me tell you the reason why I'm so passionate about this. I have female daughters. I want my daughters to be CEOs. I want them to be the head of departments. No, I want you to know this. And the reason why I am working hard to make sure that my company succeeds. It's because I want them to be the one running it later in the future. So I want you to understand that. It has to be corrected. It has to be. That's the point. But when you are now saying that, don't talk about it, just listen. That makes your...
When did I say that? At which point did I say that? That is your inference. And that is such a male perspective. She's talking, so she's telling me that I should not be speaking.
Let me tell you the way you said it.
I did not say that. At no single point did I say that. So you saying I said that is offensive. Take it back. Take back that I said that.
Can you
take it back? In this kind of discussions, we are going to offend each other. Definitely. Take it or leave it.
Can you hold on a second?
All
because the point we are all driving at, or at least my female colleagues, is that many a times men pass comments that they don't even realize.
They don't even understand what they are saying.
Yeah, you don't even realize the gravity of what you're saying. Now, K-Bell, if I'm going to analyze what you say you're making your company so that your kids can be the ones to run it. You have daughters, and my daughters should... Did your daughters tell you they're interested in running what you're running?
Hold on a moment. I said...
It's their choice.
Hold on. There is something called legacy. Let me explain it to you. Legacy is what the impossibilities that somebody made possible. The reason so that they can inspire the next generation. This is where you don't get. Now, a lot of inequality among the male and female gender exists. But there will be some people that will lay a legacy to show, the practical example to show that this thing is not supposed to be. Say, for example, I have a friend, he's a pastor. He said, and he lives in Nigeria, then they don't even have washing machine. They wash their clothes with hands. He will pack all the clothes in the house. He will go outside. They are living in rented apartment. Then he will begin to wash it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. When they see a married man washing clothes in Nigeria or Yoruba people, they will say that.
They blame the wife. They ask what's wrong with the wife. Feminism. That is feminism, what they're trying to fight. What's wrong with the wife?
Hold on.
That's what we fight for.
Hold on. That is what they will say about him. But the guy said, I enjoy washing clothes. My wife doesn't like to wash clothes, but I enjoy doing it. I will not say because it is common for female to be the one doing it that I will say, oh, my wife, you are the one that must be washing these clothes. That is the point that we are making here, actually.
What we are making is that thought that the society is having, that this guy is washing clothes, so the problem must be with his wife. That's what feminism is fighting. We're not fighting that we are fighting that the man and woman can choose what they do, but we're also fighting that society doesn't. That's not the first thought that all of us, every single one of us thought immediately, what's wrong with his wife? And isn't that so crazy?
Exactly.
Isn't that so messed up? And that's why we are defensive. And that's why it is so annoying for you to tell us that feminism is about women.
I get
because
it.
It's not.
And I don't understand.
Do you understand now that it is about society?
But I said even
so
though.
Change it. It's not about women.
Don't say that. Change it. I will tell you one thing about change. It is not everybody that will want change. Take it or leave it. It is not. But the thing is, one thing about the world is this. You don't need everybody to agree with you. You just need greater percentage of people.
Can I get you to agree that feminism is about changing what society thinks about what you just said?
Society is already
I think that was...
This is the point I am making. This is the point I am making. The reason why I didn't totally agree with what you said, I agree with you, honestly speaking, 95%. But the remaining 5%, I didn't accept it. The reason is this. I will tell you the reason.
You said feminism is about females, so we don't agree 80% according to me. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's not even the point I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is this. We get it. This problem exists. We understand. But we also have to be practical. We live in a politically corrected world that everybody tend to make everything about politics. They tend to make it personal. And the truth of the matter is that no matter how much we desire changes, it is not everybody on earth that we agree with you, even if we talk about it for billions of years. So, but instead of it to concentrate on, you want the rest of the world to accept your point of view 100%, why not work with greater percentage that is good enough to do the job? That's what I am saying. Is the point I am
So at
making.
this moment, I just want you to change your perspective that feminism is about the female. I'm not talking about the world. I'm not talking about politics. I just want you right now to say that feminism is not about females. That will make me happy.
That is not about female.
It's
That's
about,
it.
it's about female.
No, hold on. What do you mean by that's it? Feminism is
No,
about female.
that's all. That's
Listen,
all I want you to say.
I cannot say it
That moment you described.
because you want me, you see, this is one of the problems that is wrong with feminism. You want me
That
to believe
moment.
you want me to see from your side of
Wait.
your
Can I
point
make
of
my
view.
point? You've spoken a lot. You've spoken a lot. Let me make my
Yes,
point right now,
have.
and then
And
everyone
same
else
are
can
you.
speak. Yes, same as me. That moment that you just said, where your pastor is washing clothes, and then the first thought that every single one of us had was that it's the woman's fault. I'm talking about that thought. Feminism is changing that thought. Was that thought a female thought? Was it a male thought? Or was it a societal thought? Feminism is not about changing a woman's perspective or changing a male's perspective. It's about changing society's perspective of what it means to be a man and a woman.
Let's get the point right. We are talking about
wait, I want you to take 5 seconds. I'm going to be a teacher right now. I want you to take 5 seconds to think about it. I want you to take 5 seconds. Can I ask you something? Can I ask you something as a woman who has gone through feminism? Can I ask you for 5 seconds to think about that thought? Without speaking, without trying to think of an answer, think about that thought. Feminism is about changing how society views women and men, because in that moment every single one of us thought a man is washing clothes, it is the woman's fault. That thought was not a female thought, it was not a male thought, it was a general thought that we all had. Feminism is about changing. Wait, you have not taken
no,
5 seconds.
You are making some points that are not relevant. Actually, you are saying it's
5.
You are saying that it's a general thought. Do you know that this, my friend I'm talking about, that is a pastor, it wasn't his wife that convinced him to be washing his clothes.
1.
He decided that this is what I love to do.
5 seconds.
And he's doing it. So does it mean that all the society agree with that point of view? There are certain things I do that people will
we can move on. That point has been lost.
The point I'm making is this: who make up the society? It is men and women that are made up of society, and we have to.
Feminism is about changing
society. We have to start from where it started. We want
to
start from the
men, or is it women?
Root. When you start from the head, you didn't start from the root that grows the trees. That is
which one is male, which one is women? The problem is the root a man or a woman? Are we talking about feminism? Which one is the male, which one is the female? Or is it just a general problem? Okay, so feminism is about both. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not say that.
Okay.
I think we're missing the point here. The point here is, when I say about women, doesn't mean that it's an issue. It's a woman issue. What I'm trying to say is something is it's a mindset that has existed throughout generation, that when someone does something contrary, they tend to look at it as maybe like what you said on this, correct? It's like because it's this woman, and most people are going to say like that. But it's all about the people that live in the society, are men and women who live in society. And who are they talking against? It's a woman. It's about the woman. It doesn't mean that the woman is kind of like, I think that's the way we are trying to get, we are getting the misunderstanding. It's not as if it's a woman problem. No. We're not saying it's a woman problem. It's a problem that society has put on women. And who are the society? Are men. The men are the ones who have been existing in terms of like what have been existing in terms of.
You're saying that men are society, women are not society. Now women have been removed from society.
No, he didn't say that.
I'm sorry. Explain.
Quickly, hold on.
Explain.
We have to. The thing is this: we have to dwell on this because Ondine is not getting it.
I'm not getting it. I am not getting it.
Do you know that?
Okay, you tell yourself that.
I want to tell you something. I want to tell you.
I'm cool. You tell yourself I'm the one who's not understanding this issue.
You know, I don't know about Kenya. I know about Nigerian, and I know about Yoruba people. Do you know that even our moms, they believe that at home, our mom, I'm not talking about new generation moms, I'm talking about the old generation moms, they also are responsible in a way too. They believe that, that is the work of a man, don't do it. That's the work of a woman, don't do it. For
Yes.
example, yeah.
Of course we know that.
So you see,
What do you think?
also are
So
responsible
what?
for this too. As men are also
Yes,
responsible.
it's men
That's
and
the
women.
point that we are talking about.
Oh, thank you. You've agreed with me. Thank you. Just like you said, the root is both female and male. You've just said that the problem is both women and men. Thank you for agreeing. Feminism is a both male and female issue. I am good. Thank you for agreeing with us.
Now
there.
let's move forward. Actually, let's move forward, because I think this is where everything gets complicated. What should be the thin line between feminism and political agenda? That's the next topic. I think this is where the topic of feminism gets complicated. What should be the thin line between feminism and political agenda? Honestly speaking, let's talk about it. I don't know how you see it, but that's the next thing we want to talk about. Adefunke, I can see your eyes. Let's start with you.
I'm not understanding the question. Let's move on to somebody else that understands it.
All right. Who understand it? Who want to talk about that?
I have a question on top of the question.
Go ahead.
Is there even a difference between, should there be a line between political agenda and feminism?
All right. So I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. But I will also, the only thing I can do right now is to explain this next topic. Because the truth of the matter is that we have
or let me phrase it differently. What do you mean by political agenda here?
All right.
Can I have a case study from Kenya? Have you guys heard of Wangari Maathai?
Yes.
Amazing story, yes. So she was she's a scientist, and she believed in grassroots movement, which was, first of all, she believed in conservation and trees and nature and building things using nature. And this was like 40, 30 years ago, when it was very anti-woman, anti-feminism, all that stuff. And she, a scientist, brought up in Kenya, and then she went and studied all over the world, and she won like a Nobel Peace Prize. She talked about the grassroots movement, where she went to villages and she got them to build, to plant trees and to build like collectives where, and it was mostly women. That's not relevant, but it is relevant because she was a woman, and it was a time when women were not taken as seriously, because it was a time when you're supposed to be in the village and all that stuff. So she is a hero here because she took that concept of what it means to be a woman and what it means to be powerful, and she didn't do that thing where it's like, I am a man and now I am a politician. She married the two together, and she brought it into the villages and into all the different places, using women to have this powerful, it was a grassroots movement where the focus was conservation and indigenous learning and building and growing. So my answer to your question is, there shouldn't be separation, but there normally is.
Yeah, actually, I don't think that's what the question is. The question is, what should be the thin line? Thin line. It means both of them go hand in hand, but there should be a kind of a caution. And I will tell you the reason for this question. You know, we live in politically corrected world right now, that everything is turned to become politics. Which, you know, the most funniest part of it is that we have a politician among us. So, and I like politics, but at the same time, sometimes I get annoyed with politicians. Because the truth of the matter is that politicians, most of the time, they don't do things for right reason. They do it for selfish reasons, just to support their political agenda. But most of the time, it dilutes the purpose of a movement. It dilutes the purpose, the vision. It affects the vision of a particular movement. So that's why there should be a thin line between politics and, for example, the topic we are talking about today, feminism. It could be something else, maybe sometimes later. So the point I'm making, I don't know if you understand this particular question right now, because the problem is that we are not even understanding it. What should be the thin line between politics and feminism? Because most of the time, the reason why there is always argument, this, that is because, and there are misconceptions also. Some men believe that the word feminism is an attack on men. Some men, I'm not saying all men. For example, a wife cannot do the job of an husband. An husband is an husband. Say, I'm talking about from family concepts, because a lot of family has entered into trouble because of this. They don't even know the right way to fight feminism or otherwise. I'm not just, but today we are talking about feminism. So it could be the man that is responsible for the breakup in the family too. But today we are talking about feminism. So it's not that we are addressing the women only. A woman in family concepts, I'm talking about where politics makes things worse. So I'm now using family concept as an example. Maybe it will make us to understand it. Generation that we live in right now, everything is called political, because of the political correctness and other stuff. Some women want to assume the position of their husband. Instead of them to know that they are a team and they are supposed to reach agreement together, some women will tell you that if he doesn't understand it, he doesn't need to understand. So that is where the political aspect of feminism has affected a lot of homes. That's the question. What should be the thin line? The question should be clear enough by now. No.
Can we move on to the next topic, maybe? If none of us are understanding, maybe we can move on to the other one.
You are my own honest opinion.
I think politics here is more of twist, like how the people have used it in politics to either define it wrongly in politics to attain their political goals, or either way how they are using their political authority to foster the movement. So in essence, we cannot look at it politics as more as a government, like only the government level, but we can also look at it in our homes and so on. But when you look at it generally, the mindset is the same thing you take into your home, politics. So I don't think there should be a separation here. It's just more about the mindset, how society thinks, and the fact that you're a politician doesn't mean that you're going to change the way you think. Is that you will be having the power or more room to show people, the public, that okay, this is what you think, and you have the power to do what you think is right. So I think the baseline here is that the act of feminism is something that is affecting the public, be it political, economic, wherever you find yourself. The mindset is what we are against, or we are trying to talk about, like how to shift the mindset to look at things as in a manner of equality, like not only that okay, this is a woman's job, or this is a man's job, and so on. So, in the end, the man and the women have to agree in a first state of family. Okay, who can do this, who can do that, and so on and so on. Before, but we cannot change the world. We cannot change other cultures. We cannot change the beliefs of people. And what we can do is, like I think, to me personally, I think most feminist movement is trying to change the mindset of and beliefs of people, rather than to help people who are looking for a way out, like people who are suffering and don't like but there are people who enjoy being like doing those things. Why someone will see and say, oh no, you don't have to do it, like. So what I'm trying to say is, to really do the job, or to really advocate, or to really support the feminism, we have to make sure we are doing it the right way by helping people who need the help, to fight against that action.
I still don't understand. You've said many things, but I still don't get it.
I think here, if I understand what K-Bell was talking about, the question itself is wrongly framed. I don't know whether he meant to write feminism and political correctness. If it's political correctness, that's a different thing from political agenda. So he needs to clarify what this statement means. I still don't, I can't wrap my head around it. If it was about political correctness, would you say human rights or fighting against racial discrimination is about political correctness? No, it isn't.
Say it, sister.
It isn't.
Sorry, guys.
is
It's not something about being politically correct. It's something that has to be done and has not been done. And we are trying to make sure that it is done. There's nothing about being politically correct or not being politically correct, if that's the way you wanted to frame the question. But if it's about politics, I wouldn't say that you can even divide the two. The way I define politics is that it's something that is in our everyday life, whether we like it or not. So there's nothing like dividing these two. But the question was wrongly framed.
All right, so the question is actually, the aim of the question is not to provide a solution, is to make us be the one to provide the answer. The question is there a thin line between feminism and political agenda? And I've gotten the answer. Of course, I still believe that, I still want to believe that you guys, I'm talking about the females now, you are shying away to answer that question. But I think, honestly, that's what I believe. It's my belief. It does not mean that I'm attacking.
Okay.
Hold on. It does not mean that
if you're saying that we're shying away when we just don't understand what you've said, that is such a male perspective.
I said
if you don't understand what you're saying,
no,
it's
I'm not saying I'm right. Do you understand the meaning of I think? I'm not saying I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I said I think. But I
just don't understand the question. What thin line between feminism and political agenda?
D has, is it okay if I call you D? Because that one is better for me. D has already answered it.
He has not.
It does. What he said is that there should not be a separation between feminism and politics. But as individuals too, we should be able to understand what will affect us and what should not affect us. So, like I cited example of a family setup. Husband and wife should be able to come together and make their point. They should not wait on the political like mindset or government to make certain changes before they do what they are supposed to do in their home. I'm talking about your personal.
Wait.
If you say that, if you say that they shouldn't wait for the government to make certain whatever, your mom grew up. Let's say your mom or my mom grew up in a certain setting, and she's still alive today. I am growing up in a different setting. Society has moved on. Does it mean that my mom cannot change her perspective because she's scared to get into this new political agenda?
No,
is
that
what you're
I would also add on to her.
Let me answer, Teresa. No, that's not the point. That's not what
we've understood now.
Let me tell you something. The people that have been affected mostly are the generation of my mom, maybe perhaps your mom too. That these people have been affected a lot. So somehow I can even say that.
And it pains me that some people in our generation are still speaking like that.
Yeah, like it does. It does pain me too. That is the reason why we are open to have this discussion.
That some women are trying to take the position of their husband, which we are not supposed to be saying that anymore.
No, I'm not.
It means we haven't.
No, don't say that. We are not supposed to say that because it does.
We have understood you so well, K-Bell.
Whenever there is a movement, there is room for hijackers to hijack it, whether for right reason or for wrong reasons. That's the major point of this. Should there be a thin line?
I don't think you understand how chauvinistic you sound right now.
I think men in general are usually scared. You know, when there's a movement that comes and it's mostly, and the females are trying to do something,
how do I protect myself?
Yeah, but nobody is trying to compete with you. We don't want to be men. I don't want to be a man.
I want to choose who I am without anybody else.
Without you enforcing your own
Without having to put
ideology.
myself, without
And
having to put the man as a
chauvinism,
ruler from where I measure
Yeah,
myself.
I don't have to measure myself based on what you think I should
And
be.
to think that the reason that women are changing their minds is because of the political agenda is to
It's
think
just wrong.
Nobody said
no,
that.
wait,
No, this is
that's the
nobody
question.
said
That
it.
is actually the
You always
question
make,
that you
you always
phrased.
make some form
Now
of,
we're going to
it's a
attack
form of
Ondi.
attack.
Is
You will
this
say that
just me
somebody
attacking
said
me
what they
again?
didn't say.
Hold on.
No, you
What
have to
was your
correct
question?
that. Really, on
What was your
seriously.
question? What is the thin line between feminism and political agenda? I'm sorry. Was that not your question? The
Then
thing
you
that we've been
answer.
trying to
You
understand?
didn't answer. You did not
Right,
even
but
answer.
you just
said it.
attacked me
point-
because apparently I don't understand the question. I'm just rephrasing the question in the way that you just said it by telling you
Even
your
though
mindset.
after it has been explained, and some people have already said, okay,
But you
now
just attacked me because you said that I'm saying the wrong
you
thing.
said
I just
what I
said
said.
you.
You said what I didn't
Exactly.
say.
I did
Cut.
just say what you just said. Fine. Thank you, Adefunke. You're right. Cut. Maybe we
right.
should move on to the next question.
No, because I agree with on this line of questioning. The point
Right.
she was trying to make that you wouldn't listen was that having a comparison in the first place is wrong.
It's wrong.
Yes. Having a
So
comparison
that is the way
in the
you guys
first
think,
place.
right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
let
what
me
are you
quickly say something.
comparing?
Let me quickly say something. I agree
No.
with you.
K-Bell, you've talked so much. Let us speak. Let us speak,
She
my
will
man.
speak.
No.
He made a point.
I'm tired. I'm tired of you
You
making.
still have
I'm
more,
tired.
something
No,
else to say.
K-Bell, I'm so tired of you always interrupting with your thoughts.
One day, please stop destroying.
Literally.
I don't
Destroying how? You just attacked me because I rephrased the question that you just said. What is the
We are done with this point. We are done with
why are we here?
I didn't interrupt
Why are
you.
we here?
I did not interrupt you. That's the question I want to confirm.
Oh yeah, we are done with this point. Go on.
No, I want to find out that did I interrupt you?
While I was making the point? No,
Yes.
no, you didn't.
So, Onde, do you get my point right now? That's what I'm saying.
That you're a chauvinist?
He made
Yes.
mention of one statement, and I wanted to say that, Adefunke, I agree with you. That was what I wanted to say. But because of impatience, because you are so emotional about this topic, you didn't even allow me to even.
Why would we be emotional about being told that our choices are because of political agenda?
I agree with
Why would we take that offensively? Our mothers' choices are because of political agenda. Why would we be offended by such a statement?
In the end, you didn't even understand this what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is,
of course not. The question was not.
It's good to calm
clear.
ourselves down, no matter how sensitive.
And it wasn't my point. It was on this point. I was just elaborating what she said.
Thank you, Adefunke. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
The thing of telling the women to calm down is not a good
I've even
move.
forgotten the next point I wanted to say. I agree with your statement. Then I wanted to say something, but I've forgotten right now because of interruption. So let's move forward.
Such a shame.
Yeah. So that's it. We should. For the rest of this meeting, we have to be conscious of time right now. So now.
Sip some tea, everyone.
Yeah. Please do.
Tea and coffee with Ray.
All right. Now,
only came prepared today.
Yeah. This particular point.
What was your question? That was probably so offensive. Go ahead. Did I eat? Was that your question?
Yes, I have to continue because I've forgotten.
He said you came prepared. You came prepared.
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard did you eat? I was about to like.
Believe me, one day is always prepared.
We're putting on your gloves already.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just what?
All right. So let's move forward. We assume my position again right now. So call it a fair to power. It's not a manpower thing. It's a fair to power. It's the assignment I'm here to do. All right. So now this particular one is going to steer another thing entirely. What role do you think personal beliefs or values has played in feminism? Now, this point is either from negative part or from positive part.
So what do you mean by personal beliefs? Religion?
I don't like to use the word religion.
But is that what you mean?
Yeah, this is it. It could be your mentality. It could be your faith. So it's
Values,
broad.
right?
It's broad. It's beliefs, personal beliefs and values. So don't just make it about religion. Of course, as a man of faith, everything I do is guided by religion. It's guided by my faith. But everything I do is based on my faith. Because I believe that I'm a Christian. So, and I believe that the word of God is complete. That's what I believe. So that's just it. Let's move on. So stop rolling your eyes at me. All right. So in this note,
I would like to go last.
okay,
Hey God.
I will be the one to determine that. Won't
Are we
I?
safe?
Yes.
Leave all this
Actually,
responsibility
I will be the one to
with this one.
determine that, not you.
Minimal
You are not
interruption if I go last.
Please.
I
Go
agree.
first.
Teresa, let's start with you.
Me?
Yes, let's start with you. Yes.
Okay, I think that we are products of our environments and our experiences. So those are what form these beliefs and values, and they are very important in how we view feminism. If you ask yourself the question, what is your tribe? I'm not talking about Yoruba, Igbo. What is your tribe? Like, what influences you? When you get up in the morning and you think of going out, who are the people that you see as your role models? Who are the people that you look up to? They influence how you would look at the next person. So, and this could then become yield positive or negative ways in which you see feminism. If you grew up in a household where women are told you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, it shapes your experiences. But then let me still go back to this political agenda thing. It doesn't mean that you have to remain there. It doesn't mean that because you grew up in that environment, you are going to remain there before fear of, oh, now I'm changing. Oh, now she went to Europe, now she's thinking different. Is that different better for the society? Is that different going to make a positive change in the society? It doesn't matter what that society is going to say. Oh, Teresa now went to Europe. So now she now thinks that as a woman, she can hold her own, she can speak, she can talk when men are talking. It's not because of Europe, it's because you have taken a conscious decision to shape your beliefs, not based on only on your past experiences, but on the new experiences that you are getting. So yes, beliefs shape them, but we too can shape those beliefs. We don't just have to stay stuck because, okay, this is how I was brought up. I can't change this. I'm from Africa and this is how we behave. So beliefs shape them, but we choose whether we want to change those beliefs or not. You look at the beliefs, is this going to make a positive change in society or a negative one? It doesn't end at this is how I was brought up, or this is how I've always done it. This is how I've been told that I should do it. So I have to stay like that. It doesn't need to even come from politics. You look around you and see how this type of thinking has shaped different societies. Would my society have been better if I had grown up thinking different? Can I shape my beliefs? Can I now change my values and behave like that?
Yes.
That's it from here.
Yeah, I think you did a very nice job with that. That's very, very, very good job.
She spoke like a politician.
Yeah. So what I want to say is
Politician, who said that?
this. No, it's not because she's a politician. Actually, because I think she has evolved. So that's what I would say, honestly speaking, because it comes to understanding how you have grown personally. A lot of people tend to generalize feminism, but it actually really starts from who you are as a person and how you want to influence the society. That's just it. And I will also apologize to Teresa because I didn't finish the whole question. But still, you did a great job with it. The next attack towards the role of personal beliefs and values, then do you think these values are positive or negative? How should feminism not be defined? Yeah, because the truth of the matter is that it is abundantly clear that our specific views on these issues are rooted deeply in our own personal and direct experiences. Sometimes rather than on data, research, or science surrounding the issues. So that's the reason why the question came to be. All right, let's go to Adefunke. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you very much, Teresia, for expanding the discussion. You took words literally from my mouth. But to add a little bit also to what she has already said without trying to repeat exactly what she said, a lot of our mindset is a function of upbringing. And as parents, your mindset plays a huge role on your child. So many of the things that we have consumed are as a function of what our parents believed in. Even when it comes to faith and whatnot, we get these things from them. So if they are not evolving, we are not evolving, at least till we become adults. And there's this Yoruba proverb that says that Toba bi e o ma tun ra e bi, or something like that, that even though that they have given birth to you, you still have to do some training for your own self. So there's a lot of unlearning and relearning to do, because our parents were not perfect and they didn't know it all. So yeah, what they passed down to us perhaps worked in their time, and maybe it was fine. Back then, maybe women didn't do much per se. Even the career mothers didn't really do too much. But now we are juggling the same 9 to 5. We are juggling the same everything. And then you still have some weird expectation of having that same mentality of somebody who doesn't really do much, maybe closes work at 1 and is home at 2, or doesn't work at all. And you're having that same expectation. So there's a lot of learning and unlearning to do when it comes to feminism in that regard, and personal beliefs. And the fact is that we need to be teachable as people. So if I come and start explaining the reasons you should take care of your own shit to you, is and you and you take that quite personally, there's already a problem, because maybe you were trained as a child that your wife is supposed to be the one to do these things. Okay, I'm not against whoever taught you that, but this is modern times, and you need to understand that activities have taken the place of so many things. Now I work, now I do this, now I do that, I am also doing that, and you also want me to contribute, etc., etc. And you don't want to evolve, but you want the evolved version and also the old version of me simultaneously. It doesn't work that way. You want the present day version and you want the back then version as well. But at the end of the day, like, it's important
we don't
that
share the responsibilities.
yeah, you
can split the
want to
bills.
split the bills. Yeah,
It builds resentment. That friction.
Yeah.
Even if it's
now
not
we are going
spoken,
back to
there's
attack.
a lot of resentment.
Now we are going back to attack.
So
right now.
basically,
So Adefunke,
yeah.
I will not want you to talk too much. You have made a perfect point. Don't read.
Okay, but we are not done. What else did you your questions were many. So
Yeah,
what
my questions
do
are
I
many.
think that these are, do I think that these values are positive, or do I think that they are negative? So I believe the values you are talking about is these personal beliefs.
Yes.
In general, your personal beliefs go a long way in deciding who you are as a person. And no matter what belief system you have, they can still be changed. Your knowledge can still be updated. So it's a function of whether you are updating your own knowledge or not. Personally, I feel my own personal beliefs are positive, because I try to learn every time. I try to upgrade myself every time. How can I be a better version of me, personal beliefs. And then how should feminism not be defined? Feminism should not be defined as an attack against men. I am not trying to attack the male gender by telling you to maybe do the dishes or clean up after yourself with something, or I'm not stopping my role as whoever I am, but you are
as
being
Funke, not as a woman.
as Funke, yeah. But you as a person, you are becoming better as a person. It's not an attack on you. Me wanting, how does me knowing my value make you worthless? That's not the whole point. Just because I value myself and see value in myself and I want to be heard does not mean that you have no value. So feminism should not be seen as an attack against men, and men should not feel intimidated because women want to achieve more. How does me achieving more mean you are achieving less, except if it's not just a mentality issue? So my fight is not that I want to be a man. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to go.
About being the same. No.
I know it's not even sameness. We are not the same. We can't be. We can't be the same. So the fight is not that I want to be you. I don't want to play head of house with you. I don't want to play I'm the man with you. No. I just want to be heard, and regular things should be done. Like my work is recognized, and me knowing my work does not mean you are worthless. It's I don't know. Let me end it there so that I don't go too much.
Yeah, it's good. So actually, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to give only a wish, but because I can see her shaking her head, clapping, I think she's excited. Go next. Only.
I would actually, for the sake of balance, argue that we should not end a feminist talk with the perspective of a man. I think a feminist talk should be ended with the perspective of a woman. And right now we've had 3 women speak about feminism, and the 2 men have not answered the question about their personal beliefs and the effect they've had on their viewpoint.
Everybody's waiting for their turn. You see, this is one point that Adefunke mentioned. It should not be an attack. Now, you also contradict yourself again by saying it should be seen from the perspective of female, not male. But you were arguing before that it's about both genders. So now I'm confused further. No, I don't get it. So
do you disagree that a conversation about feminism should not?
It's not about disagreement or no agreement. I'm just saying that I don't get you as a person.
I understand you don't. No. I completely understand that you don't understand my perspective. That is completely clear. Don't worry. I have no 2 ways. I understand you're confused about my perspective.
So it confused me.
I can go next if you want. I was just giving a suggestion.
To go next. I thought you started. Go ahead.
I think this conversation has been a perfect. If anyone is watching this conversation, I would like to say that the male perspective and the female perspectives in this show have shown what feminism is trying to fight against. In my opinion, the women.
In other way, in short,
I'm sorry. Is it my turn to speak or is it your turn to speak? Okay. If you see clarification, please. We can do that at the end. You can ask at the end.
Really, I apologize.
Thank you. This entire conversation, can you hear me?
Go ahead, your 2 minutes.
Has been about what women have been trying to fight against since this conversation has begun. The first time I heard about feminism was when I was told I can't do something because I'm a woman. And I've been hearing that my entire life. Why are you so aggressive with your speaking? Why do you sit like that? Why is your hair like this? Why are you trying to do this? Are you trying to be a man? And this is the entire conversation we've been having. Men being defensive, not listening, not trying to see the other perspective, but going, but. And they have listened in some aspects, but my perspective of this conversation has been always perceiving themselves as being attacked. Every time I have spoken, somebody has said, "Why are you attacking me?" And that has been my entire life, basically. So right now, after being told, go ahead, do your thing, let's leave it for the men to speak and tell us, what is feminism?
All right. Are you done with your contribution? All right. So I'll go to D now.
I'm just gonna mind my words now because before but I have to say this is a problem if say I'm not able to get your perspective because I want to get your perspective. I don't want to misunderstand you. I want to understand you. But I'm not going to talk about that because I have to address that first before I answer that question of values because it was directed to the men. The men have been defending themselves. Now talking about values and values and beliefs when it comes to feminism, I believe that something is wrong only when you apply it to someone who sees it as wrong and they don't like it. If say you can do something, like for example, meet someone and do something ignorantly, and the person will correct you. Now it's your mindset to say, okay, did I do something wrong? And does the person like what I did or not? And in this sense, when it comes to being in a society where everyone is considered as equal, be it a woman or a man, they are equal in every aspect. Be it politically, economic, and social, they are equal. And you want to bring your beliefs, where like from where you came from to that community, then I think that's a problem. That's when we say we adapt, we evolve, based on your environment you find yourself. I cannot go to a country where they don't accept that women should be this or that. I cannot go there and start fighting that I want because they themselves they believe that is what they like. So I'm gonna respect what they believe, but I'm not gonna accept that belief because it might affect my values, and my values is what defines like who I am and how I see things around me. And these values was given to me or was impacted on me by my parents or by the society I grew in or I was brought up in. And this is the same with everyone. And right now, I should say my perspective about feminism before or about women equal. It wasn't like the same, like 10 years back or 5 years back. As days goes by, as years goes by, I grew up to understand the thing that there are times that like what Teresa mentioned, or also that we say things that are offensive. We don't know that they are offensive based on that person's experience that they have gone through, or what they have been through in terms of this particular topic. And because some people are sensitive about it, they might turn up not to understand the other party who is trying to, who is just getting it, or who is trying to accept or to be to familiarize themselves around it. So what I can say is, for those who are feminists out there, of course I am feminist also. I support for all those who
You're not a feminist.
I'm a feminist. Of course, I am a feminist.
Neither of you are feminists. Just know. Just know.
I'm a feminist also. But just you saying that is also offensive to have to be defensive because I know deep inside, I know what I accept, and based on my values, we're talking about values now. I accept based on my values. It doesn't mean that the other person who sees this wrong, it means I'm offending them because I have no dealing with them. So if say I have a company, I have a business, and I treat women badly in terms of position because of where I come from, then I should say I'm contradicting myself. But if I have a business, I'm employing people, and I look at everyone equal, be it woman and man, it means I have evolved from my mindset back then. So in essence, the level of feminist mindset is not the same everywhere you go. Everyone has their own perspective when it comes to that, and I don't think everywhere like there's a particular way of doing it or which is correct, because someone always want to be correct and everyone cannot be correct. I think so somehow there should be a balance somewhere.
Yeah, thank you for that contribution. I don't actually wanted to say anything about this particular one because every one of you have answered perfectly correct, and I pick one or two points from all your contributions. But there is something that I would just like to say so that we will go to the next question, which is about conscious and unconscious gender bias. So, because say for example, I will cite an example of something that happened to me yesterday. So I was driving, coming back from work. I went down my glass, my window, the car. Then there is a taxi that the light was stopping. My light was stopping me too. And there is this Finnish guy, slightly drunk. And he just called me, he said, Jumbo, Jumbo. I was like, I ignored him. I didn't respond to him. He said, Jumbo, Jumbo again. Then people on the street, they look that, does he know this guy? That was what they were thinking. I don't even know if that was what they were thinking. He said it about 6 times. Then I told him, I said, do you know that you are a racist? He said, no, 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 I'm not a racist. No, no, I'm not a racist. Now, this is a point I want to mention with this point. The guy could be a racist, or he could just be ignorant. That somebody you don't know, you don't just assume that his name is Jumbo because you think he's of African heritage, or he's from Africa, or he's black. That is racism. It is unconscious racism if he does not know what he was doing. But if he knew what he was doing, that is conscious racism. The same thing comes to feminism. When we are talking about how personal beliefs has affected us, Adefunke and Teresa mention of one statement: you evolve, you grow. And Dee also mentioned the same thing: you grow. The way I see feminism 10 years ago is different from the way I see it 8 years ago, 5 years ago, even now. Why? Because I choose. It's a choice. You choose to grow. People that don't choose to grow will never change their perspective, because that's what they are main mention of. And the reason why I get offended based on the statement I only said that you are not a feminist is this: I am married to a woman, and I want my wife to achieve everything is there to achieve as human being on earth. I want my wife to attain, how do I put it? I don't forget you are a scientist? How do you call that? Is that your profession? I want her to attain a peak that is possible when it comes to profession. That's an example of a feminist, whether some people accept it or not.
How many times have we said feminism isn't about women?
Hold on.
It's been 2.5 hours. You still haven't heard.
You will talk when I'm done exhausting my 2 minutes, please. Now you are wasting my 2 minutes. It's wrong. This is totally wrong. It's part of the thing I'm talking about. You have to listen to people's perspective, understand their point of view, then you try to educate them if they need to be educated. This is how we can achieve this goal. So that's just it. Now you have made me to forget the next point I wanted to talk about.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Let's spend the next 5 minutes wisely, please. Adefunke.
Yeah, like I also wanted to bring about the unconscious thingy that men do when they speak and they don't realize. I'm not sure you realized when you were speaking, but you said, oh, I have a wife. Yeah, it's basic man thing to say, because just because you have a wife doesn't mean that
No.
you are
That is not the
It's
point.
like
Can
the
you
white
let
person
me-
going, I'm
Get
not
this
racist,
point.
I have
just
a
a
black
black
friend.
I have a
friend.
black friend.
Yeah,
Can you let me-
exactly
can you
the
let
same
me
thing.
finish?
I have to stop
I
you.
have
Can you let
daughters
me-
and sisters. I can't be sexist.
Can you let me finish, please?
No, that's not the point.
So can you let me finish? So
Go
just
ahead.
like Ondi was saying, that it's like a white person saying, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have black friends." But what I wanted to draw your attention to throughout your statement was the fact that you were saying, "I want my wife to. I want my wife to. I want my wife to." The point is that the whole idea of feminism is what she wants, not what you
What
want.
does your wife want? It's not
Hold
about
on,
you.
hold on. I get that point. And whenever you see, I will say this, it's very difficult for single to understand. Married people will understand this. When you are talking about, I want
Are you even
my,
going there?
no, I don't want to go there too.
You
but
see what you're
Adefunke,
doing?
He doesn't. It's an
She made you.
unconscious.
It's
It's an
her
Hold on,
fault
hold on.
unconscious
now.
I
thingy.
know
It's
to
her
you.
fault that
I
you're
know
speaking
to
about
you.
something completely separate.
Listen. The thing is this: you cut in. You didn't even allow me to finish. My conclusion was that I want my wife to be whatever she wants to attain, and I'm there to support him. The reason why I made mention of that statement is because of what D mentioned. Men want to support women if you let us. And the reason why I made mention of if you, let me tell you something. A lot of men are being frustrated because of attitude.
Men have been frustrated. Oh my
Hold on.
goodness.
Because you don't even let
Apologies
us understand.
from
Because you don't even, sometimes you get
all
us
the women to
confused.
you. Sorry, you're frustrated.
Only how many times have you gotten us confused here today? That's the point. It's the point I'm making. And it's called, and you know, the unconscious and conscious bias, gender bias. I'm not saying feminist, it's gender bias. So that's it. The conclusion for me, I don't think you say, my conclusion is this. If you want us to achieve the real aim of feminism, you have to be willing to listen, dialogue, educate, get it. You have to be willing. I get it. This problem exists. There is nothing we can do about it. And that
Listen to who?
No, I said
you.
you have to, okay, we may mention.
Will you listen to a white person tell you what is the meaning of you feeling discriminated upon?
No, that's not the point.
Listen to
Let
who?
me tell you,
I said we want to support you guys, but you
Thank you
are
so
acting
much.
as if you don't even want us to support you.
Oh, but what would we do without your support?
Let's talk about it. That's what
How
I'm saying.
would we feel? You don't even understand what feminism is. How can you help us?
If you are not talking about it and you are
How can you help us if after 2 hours
we are not going to help
you're
you.
still talking about how you can help your wife, and that's feminism? To you, feminism is helping your wife.
We are not even offering to help.
Okay, to you, feminism is supporting your wife. That's what you just said. I want to support my wife, and that is feminism.
You have to use example.
That's what you just said. I'm not understanding.
Like I said, it's a
learned from this conversation today is that about why I've been trying to understand when they always kick against this, they don't want it to be like because we want it and that's how it's supposed to be, or like because the woman says I want to be a doctor, and because the man wants it, So I don't think that's what Ray meant. I think the language is not really, the understanding is the problem. What he's trying to say is he's in favor. He's not the type of a man who want to tie the wife on a particular spot or decide what the wife should do or not to do. He's that kind of a man who will allow the wife to attain whatever she wants to do. So
allow her. Are you hearing yourself?
Are you using the word?
Are you listening to the words you're using?
Oh my God. So you are.
That is unconscious bias. Adefunke, I think we should just put it there.
You did not even try to understand him. You just pick a particular point.
I have 5 more minutes,
and that
and then I have to go.
could be unconscious. He could be unconscious. He didn't even know whether it is wrong.
That's
or
what
not.
she's
We
saying.
are correcting
That's
him.
what we are
It is
saying.
okay to correct it, but allow him to finish his point. Then you now
Why? Why, if he thinks that he's allowing women to do things?
Okay,
Why should we allow him to finish?
Because
Allow.
let me tell you the reason.
Allow.
The reason why
That we're
listen,
allowing
you know
him
the
to
word,
finish
the
now.
word allow could also be right. Let me tell you the reason. The reason is this: there is a problem already, and that problem
The
is
women.
women. That problem exists
It's
already.
not affecting men because
Hold
you have
on,
no
hold
feministic
on. Let
problem.
me talk now, please, so
I
that we
can't.
conclude
I
this thing.
can't. I literally
This-
can't.
This
I can't let you speak. This is what I'm saying is I can no longer let you speak because your
Teresa, I did
perspective
forget, do you
is
know
offensive
that
to
this is one of
me.
the major problems
Can
why
I?
we are
Yes,
having
yes.
issues?
Can I just say thank
Because
you
you've
so much,
already concluded
ladies
because some
and
women have
gentlemen.
already concluded for
I
all
cannot.
men gender.
Let this be a
Male
statement
gender,
to
they've
this
concluded.
conversation and to whatever conclusion you have, Teresia. Adefunke, it's
I
been a
don't get
pleasure.
your point. What
Abel
exactly do you want to
and Dee,
achieve with
thank you so much
I don't get
for
it.
showing me the other perspective. I am out. I am literally just finished. Tea and coffee with Ray. I have to go see to my son. This is, I thank you. I thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, so basically, my opinion is that I think men do this thing, and that's the point I have been trying to bring out all day. Men do this thing, and I don't know if it's a conscious thing or it's an unconscious thing. But from K-Bell and B Tongue now, I realize that it's unconscious, but it's something you should take note of. Now, you were emphasizing the other time, you broke it down eventually and said that, I want my wife. The point is still that you are emphasizing on what you want.
No,
If you want
that
to
was
support,
not the aim.
if you want to
I didn't
support,
forget.
please let me finish. If you would like to support your wife, then the choice of words should be different. I will support my wife to whatever extent of or level she wants to go, because then you are emphasizing that whatever support you are giving is based on what she wants. But when you go and say something like, I want my wife to reach whatever level, it is still emphasis. For example, you might decide that because she's in Finland, she should go to nursing school. What if that's not what the woman wants to do? And then she goes to nursing school like everybody else. That's what you want. That's not what she wants.
Hold on a moment.
So it's like at the end of the day, it's back to what I want as the husband, not what the woman really wants. Even though
I get your point.
If the person is going to nursing school and she's
I
practically
get your point.
being miserable,
but let me tell you where you
miserable
got it wrong.
there.
I want
I'm
to tell you
giving
where
an example.
Let me tell you where you got it wrong. Now we're having this discussion. I want to believe that this is supposed to be an intelligent discussion, and we have had a lot of intelligent moments. This is the point. I came from this angle as an intelligent being. First and foremost, I acknowledge the fact that this problem exists. And as a result, it has entered into a lot of homes and families. So it will now take a husband that understands that this problem exists, and using that judgment to support, use the word support, not even allow. Maybe that statement is subconscious. It wasn't deliberate to be negative. I want to pay that point. No, it's not. It has something of whether you have power over or not. It's not what we are talking about here. We are talking about the fact that because a lot of women don't even know that they have this right. They could even do this. So that is why they need the right man in their life to open their eyes to it in case they don't know. In case they don't know. So it is support. Not that I am the one that determines what my wife wants to be, but I am there for her. Especially, number one, to start with lay the foundation. If she doesn't realize that she could attain anything as a woman, I want her to realize that. First, it's not as a man now, as somebody that loves her, that wants her to be the best person, honestly speaking, as human being. No, not as a man now. Now, then you now go to support. anything she said that she wanted to be, you'll be there to support her that, okay, I believe you can do it. If you believe you can do it, I will be there to support you. That's the point I'm mentioning. By building it, it was a building I was constructing. But then, of course, you interrupted. You didn't even allow me to conclude. So this is where misconception happens. When we don't listen to one another, then people won't really understand what exactly we want to achieve with feminism. It's my conclusion.
And the one thing I want to add to that is that like when like those who are married or are living in relationships, if say you like your husband was like someone like you think is offensive to you and say something that you don't like, the manner of correction also matters. If say you want them to listen at all or to understand, because if I'm making a point and I unconsciously offended you, I think is the right way, that I think most women don't do, even men as well, not only women. They turn to, pour it like to flash it back on your face. And when we start becoming defensive, because that's our nature to become defensive, which is not right, then it's back to a chaos. So what I want to say with regard to this issue is that this is something that is sensitive, and everyone at one point has attained some level of intelligence or understanding about it, or how to go about how to apply it in every way, in every area. Even employers or employers are struggling to apply it in their different organizations. So I think now what we want to acknowledge is the fact that all these acts that is being done, or this consciously or unconsciously, is it correct? And how do we move forward from from here? How do we address this situation? How do we abstain from? How do we support? How can I support my wife? How can I support a woman? How can I be part of this movement without infringing someone's right? I think that's what I want, that I've learned today to an extent. And I believe that that's what most people who are going to view this
yeah. Thank you, Dee, for that. In conclusion, I would like to just allow the women to conclude here. Now, let's conclude like this. As a man, let's answer the question that Dee mentioned. The question is a question that, okay, as a man, how do you expect me to support this movement of feminism? In few seconds, if it's possible. Let's start with our guest, Teresia.
As a man, how do you support me? And let me repeat the question so that I know that I am talking correctly.
As
a man,
how do you, no, hold on. How do you want male gender, to support feminism? So that's just it, to support that movement. I'm not talking about support woman or no woman, because people have their choice. They have ability to make choices too. We can't take away people's choices. But now we are talking about movement. We are not talking about individual to individual now. We are talking about movement. What roles, yes, do you think male gender can play to support feminism?
Yeah, we've been talking a lot today, and I will not go back to.
I say in conclusion.
Yeah, I will not go back to the things we have been talking about. But if there's two things I've gotten from this discussion, is that first, you would support feminism by going back and learning what is feminism. What is the definition of feminism? Without your preconceived bias, like keeping aside all the bias and all what you have learned as feminism. I can quote some statements I got from here, like, this is the problem with this feminist thing. That was spoken here.
Yes.
Which shows that there's already some mentality about feminism that men, since you say we should use the word men, that men need to unlearn and learn what is feminism. And then the next thing is that acknowledge that there is a male privilege and work on it. And then you kept saying that we should listen. I think in this case, the men are not listening, or they think they are listening, but they are hearing themselves. They are hearing their unconscious bias and the way they have been wired to think about women. Men should learn to listen and not listen to themselves. I wouldn't talk much. Those are the three things that I wanted to give a conclusion.
Yeah, I actually don't have anything much else to say because Felicia has said everything else that you can possibly say based on feminism. And the support that I would also maybe like to add is the fact that you should let women choose who they want to be. They should get to choose what they want. It's not okay to automatically think that this is what the woman should want because she's a woman. And many times we say that we are supporting, but honestly, or as men, honestly, you are not. Because what is support to you as a man is not support to the person you claim you are supporting. And that is where the problem lies. You think you are supporting, but you are not. So you want to know what support also means to that person. If it means looking for schools, if it means giving advice, if it means that's the best way to support someone. Because whatever you do, you might think you are doing the right thing, but you are not doing the right thing. And that is why there is so much clamor on this, let women get to choose. 90% of the time I hear men say the same thing. I support my wife. What are you doing to support her? And when I hear it, that is not even what support is to me as a female. Not to not wonder if that's what support even means to the person they claim they are supporting.
But
So
hold on, have you considered whether that particular woman, that is what support meant to her?
That's what I just said.
No,
that's
I said,
so you have to figure out you have to figure out what it means to that person.
Yeah, so that's
the same. It's the same thing like coming in with your own definition of feminism.
Yeah.
And thinking you are supporting feminism.
Yeah, but it's not.
To unlearn that and get it from the person. It's like a white person coming to join the anti-racism movement and thinking that they know it. They know what is what it means to feel discriminated upon. Okay, I'm going to help this. I'm going to support this movement. And they don't even have the right definition of what it means to not have equal rights because of your where you come from.
Yeah, because of my gender, not having equal rights, maybe at the workplace or other places. So it's about understanding first and then figuring out
before you go
to the next level.
All right, so we are not going to the next anything. We are rounding up here. So thank you everybody for joining. Dee, do you have any concluding speech? It could be anything.
I want to thank Red Global for this opportunity. I must say I've learned a lot, and I've seen that like as a man, there are some unconscious words you make that are offensive, like using the word allow, or thinking you are supporting someone, whereas it's not what actually they consider as support. So I think this platform is really good to, I've learned a lot, and I believe that. So of course, despite heads up, we all have learned something here today. So thanks so much, everyone who participated here today. I'm honored to be part of the conversation.
Thank you, everybody that joined us. And personally, myself, my concluding word is that I've learned a lot here today. Being a minority myself, I know how painful it feels when people don't understand you. And that is the reason why we are open to have this discussion with you guys. Just know that. And I want you guys also to understand that we actually really wanted to understand you. But another point I want to say is this. Also want to suggest, is a suggestion, I don't know whether it is the right thing or not, is that sometimes it's also good to listen. really, honestly, sometimes it's also good. I'm not saying it's a must for you to listen. I said sometimes it's also good, especially when you listen, you see the angle at which that particular man is coming from. Maybe he has been affected by generations of beliefs and whatever, and some kind of beliefs, it takes time to undo them. Because what I find out is that there are a lot of definition to feminism on internet. You won't believe it. I was checking it, I was overwhelmed. That was why I made mention of that statement that this feminism thing, it's too complex, it's too complicated. It's my own personal, based on research. That was my conclusion, that it's just too complex, but we can only try our best. We are not the one undergoing this injustice. So, but we want to help. We really want to help. We want to support in the best possible way we can do. That's my conclusion, and thank you guys for being open to talk this with us, because it's so offensive to some women to even talk about this issue with men. So thank you guys. And thank you, audience at home. Please, we appreciate it if you leave your comments. Let us know what you feel about this discussion. We know that it's a very serious one. Let's hear your own opinion. Feminism. And finally, I would like to remind you out there at home, wherever you might be, don't forget to support Red Global Digital on our products. We have Toy Culture. That's our game learning for children between the age of 4 years and 11 years old. And don't also forget to join us with our Re-Enable Care. We go to Africa as best as we can to help the physically impaired people in Africa, one city at a time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Till we meet again, bye for now.